Blessed Sunday sa ating lahat. Kumusta tayo po? Kumusta kayo? Okay ba ang buhay natin dyan sa Pilipinas? Ang mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Sabah, ang mga overseas Filipinos and migrant Filipino migrants sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. Kumusta kayo? Blessed Sunday. I hope everything is running smoothly sa mga buhay natin ngayon. And of course, ito po si Nico Fabian. Once again, would like to invite each and every one of you dito po sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Since Sunday ngayon po, let us touch a detail or some issues po tungkol sa Pilipinas na naman. And this time around, let us touch about tungkol sa mga Marcoses, ng mga Marcoses po. Ano naman itong tungkol sa mga Marcoses? Now, I want to touch yung topic tungkol sa Marcoses po. Narinig ninyo ba? I don't know if you heard about this, but lumabas ito sa mga mainstream media sa Pilipinas. No? All the mainstream media in the Philippines already reported, or majority of them already reported about the issue of the illegal or ill-gotten wealth of the Marcoses. Narinig ninyo ba? You heard about the news? Sabi ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. or BBM that wala na daw sila ill-gotten wealth sa assets nila po. They were being cleared by the court already, and tapos na ang issue ng ill-gotten wealth. So today, I'm going to touch on that issue po, and I will leave it to you. Kayo na bahala to make your own judgment or your decision po, or observation ninyo or opinion ninyo po. Kayo na bahala, no? I only want to share with you itong what I read sa mga newspaper, sa mainstream media dyan po sa Pilipinas, Saturday or kahapon po, no? Kahapon, and kahapon yun. And it is talking about, or they are talking about, the stories touching on the ill-gotten wealth of the Marcoses po. So nandito po, let me share with you itong news, no? Ang title or ang heading ng news po is Atom hits Marcos for saying ill-gotten wealth unproven. They refuted itong Atom po. What is the meaning of Atom? Atom is the August 21 movement, or Atom po. This was formed during the 1986 People's Power po. And they are touching on the issue of the wealth of the Marcoses po. So they reacted to the sabi natin statement made by Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. just recently, that clear na daw sila po. Wala na silang ill-gotten wealth. So, let me share with you itong story. Dahan-dahan tayo itong balita po. And let's see kung may weight ba itong storya o walang weight itong storya. Alright. Let me read you the story paragraph by paragraph. You listen carefully po. The August 21 movement or Atom on Saturday, kahapon niya po, refuted or slammed President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. for claiming that his family's wealth was not illegal gotten. And it lamented that not one member of his family has spent a jail since his father and namesake was toppled in 1986. So nag-refute po ang itong grupo po. They refuted ang statement made by BBM last Saturday po na ang wealth nila po was not ill-gotten. Hindi na yung ill-gotten po. Let me quote, we, the August 21 movement, vehemently disagree with this claim of Marcos Jr. This is a true and absolute fake news. We will not just let this pass without disputing this new claim of his or of Marcos. Sabi ang grupo in a statement po. No? They will not allow they will continue to dispute itong claim kasi they claim itong Atom Group, they claim na fake news na naman ito statement made by BBM. Atom was formed, for your information, Atom was formed in honor of Senator Benigno Aquino or Ninoy Aquino Jr., who was assassinated on August 21, 1983, on his return from self-exile in United States to lead the opposition to the dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos Sr. During a luncheon forum with the Foreign Correspondent Association of the Philippines or FOCAP last Friday, durante yun forum, dyan po sa Manila last Friday po, sabi ni Marcos said his family had won several civil forfeiture cases in the courts. The reason we won those civil cases is because they were proven to be not ill-gotten wealth. Sabi ni Marcos, nalo kami po, no? And it has been proven by the court that whatever we have po is not an ill-gotten wealth. Atom said it was not really surprising for the president to make the claim, considering that the Marcos brand has always been known to be associated with lies and propaganda. Sabi ng Atom, it is not surprising. We are not, hindi kami surprised itong klaseng mga announcement made by BBM because ang mga Marcoses is associated with lies and propaganda po. Totoo ba yun? If you remember, last December, si Marcos keep on saying na tungkol sa flood control projects, sabi niya po, they will not have Christmas itong mga tao involved sa flood control projects. And hanggang ngayon po, mayroon ba mga mastermind nasa kulungan na po? Wala. So, a lot of Filipinos are saying, it's very difficult to trust si BBM, dahil palagi na lang si BBM will be saying fake news or lies po. Right? As recently as June this year, a special division of the Sandigan Bayan dismissed a civil case for the recovery of Marcos's remaining properties that were not covered by earlier forfeiture proceedings pending before the court. The Presidential Commission on Good Government or PCGG, the body tasked with recovering the alleged ill-gotten wealth of the Marcos family, decided not to present any more evidence regarding the case because most of the remaining assets had already been recovered through other civil actions. Okay? Atom pointed out that the president's own mother, ang nanay ng presidente ni BBM po, si former First Lady Imelda Romualdez Marcos, was convicted of 7 counts of graft by the Sandigan Bayan in 2018 and was sentenced to imprisonment of at least 6 years and up to 11 years for each count. 7 counts siya po. Ang penalty po is at least 6 years up to 11 years. She was found guilty of illegally feuding $200 million to 7 Swiss Foundation during her term as member of the defunct Batasang Pambansa, as a Metro Manila Governor, and as a then Minister of Human Settlements. The former First Lady, now 97 years old na po, has been out on bail and her appeal of the anti-graft court's ruling remain unresolved in the Supreme Court. Hanggang ngayon po, ang appeal niya nandyan pa po and wala pang final decision. Unfortunately, until now, we have not heard what happened in that case. This shows how powerful the Marcoses and the Romualdezes have been ever since. No one from the dictatorship ever spent a day in jail after 96, sabi ang Atom. Sabi ang grupo. Totoo naman po. Nakita ba natin po any Marcoses na kulong since 1986 hanggang ngayon po? Wala po. Di ba? In a 2003 Supreme Court ruling on forfeiture case on the Marcos secret Swiss deposits, the court had determined that the combined lawful income of President Ferdinand or the President's parents from 1966 to 1985, the year before the Marcos family was driven out of Malacanang by the 1986 Extra People Power Revolution, was only around 304,372.43 US dollar, equivalent to about 2.3 million pesos at the time. Anything more than that amount was presumed ill-gotten, the High Court said. In a landmark judgment in 1997, the Swiss Federal Supreme Court ruled that there was little doubt about the criminal prevenance of the secret Marcos accounts and securities hidden in Swiss banks, and ordered that this be returned to the Philippine government. The Philippine government has recovered a total of 687 million US dollar just from the Marcos Swiss bank deposits and foundation, much of that in 2004. In all, the PCGG recovered about 265 billion pesos as of December 2021, and running after at least 125 billion pesos more from Marcos, his immediate family, his relatives, and cronies. Atom said that it would continue to call out any false claims that would be made by the president and his family, saying that we cannot just give the Marcoses their free pass every time they commit a lie and pretend their family is not corrupt. Our country has lived through so many lies already from your family, o ibig sabihin sa Marcos family, which has dragged our land into its current sorry state, since a lot of our people continue to fall for it. Sabi ang Atom. Yun po. Yun. They really contradict or refuted itong claim ni BBM po, which was made last Friday during an event dyan po sa Manila. Nawala na sila po ill-gotten wealth. Nag-clear na sa kanila ang gobyerno. Do you agree or you do not agree? Do you agree or you do not agree? Yon ang problema po. Karamihan ng mga Filipinos po, they were just laughing at BBM. I'm sorry to say this, no? Yung mga supporters ng administrasyon o ng Marcoses po, I'm sorry to tell this po, no? Because narinig niyo po, I read it from the mainstream media dyan po sa Pilipinas. And to be very specific, the news that I read just now po, few seconds ago, it is coming from the Inquirer sa Pilipinas. So yon, no? And kayo na bahala, no? Be it supporter kayo ng Marcoses or supporter kayo ng mga Dutertes, for as long as you are a Filipino and you can feel now po, you can feel now po ano nangyari, mahirap ang buhay natin ngayon po sa Pilipinas because of corruption. Hanggang ngayon po, ang corruption, instead na-reduce na yan po, no? Mas lalo na po. Kung noon ang corruption natin, kagaya sa PDAF, we are only talking about 10 billion. You just imagine ang flood control project, we are talking about 1 trillion plus. stolen money po, taxpayers' money. And of course, you cannot blame ang mga Filipinos, kagaya kayo po, mga ordinaryong Filipino po, if we are disappointed, we're angry po. Because pera natin yan po. Taxpayers' money yan po. This money came from our sweat. Hindi lang po ang mga Filipinos dyan po sa bayan natin sa Pilipinas, but also, pera yon po ng mga Filipinos who are working abroad. Ibig sabihin, ang mga overseas Filipino workers. Be it in Malaysia, be it sa Saudi Arabia, sa US, sa Canada, kung saan pamparte ng mundo, no? Pera natin. In fact, if you look at the situation, ang remittances, regular remittances of the OFWs o overseas Filipino workers po, every month na po, regular yon, it is really helping sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. And what happened? What happened po? Yung palang pera namin supposed to construct infrastructure of flood control infrastructures po, no? It went to the wrong people. It went sa mga magnanakaw. And nakita natin po, mga reports, maletang-maleta po, delivered sa mga politicians natin. Mga kickbacks nila. And who suffers? It is us now who are suffering. Hindi lang tayo po in terms of financial, we are suffering. We are also suffering, mga Filipinos po, we are also suffering mentally, and of course, ang reputation natin po ng mga Filipinos. Hindi lang reputation ng mga Filipinos dyan po sa among the Filipinos, but ang affected din ng mga overseas Filipino sa labas ng bayan natin dahil other nationalities, ang mga bosses namin po, mga employers namin, or host country namin po, no? They look at the Filipinos, they look at our country as corrupt people, no? Cannot be trusted. Liars. Because, sino nagbigay yon reputation po? Ang mga leaders natin po, whom we put them dyan po sa posisyon. And until now, sorry to say this, until now, they are trying to cover up ang mga mistakes nila. Cover up ang mga mistakes nila. Grabe, no? Grabe talaga po. I totally disagree itong klase mga sabihin natin what is happening sa Pilipinas. Sana lang po, we will realize, no? We will realize, ang mga leaders natin, hindi naman lahat mga senador, hindi naman lahat mga congressmen, pero karamihan nila po, they are involved. They are really involved sa corruption po. No? Hindi lang ito done by certain individuals, but this is already a syndicated crime, corruption crime po sa Pilipinas. Hindi lang for, sabihin natin, few months. This has been going on for several years already po. Especially, it became worse during the time of our new president, noong 2022 election po. Nag-upo si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and dyan po nakita natin na what is happening po. And ngayon, mayroon naman tayo since we are already on a budget season for 2027 budget. Ano ba ang budget natin for 2027? It was reported that the President, si Bongbong Marcos Jr., is asking a national budget for 2027, the amount of 7.2 trillion. And just recently po, no? One of the senators already alleged na may mga question marks dyan po. Question marks sa budget that the President is asking from the Congress and from the Senate to approve as early as now po. As early as now. You just imagine po. Grabe talaga po. No? This is really what is happening sa bayan natin. Sana lang po they will realize po and they will change change, realize, and then do the changes po. While it is still my time pa po. No? Although it's late already for the Marcoses, for BBM, but it's better late than never po. No? Remember, we are coming up with another presidential election that will be 2028. But there are some allegations also, or haka-haka po, baka wala tayong 2028 presidential election dahil they're trying to save ang seats nila po. No? They want to prolong sitting down sa position nila ngayon po for obvious reasons, for selfish reasons nila po, which they only know ang rason nila po. But of course, ang mga Filipinos will not allow this thing to happen. Alright? That is the issue, or this is the issue that I want to share with you po tungkol sa ano po. Remember, mayroon din yung mga issue lumabas, bago lang po, yung leadership funds. Imagine, mayroon pala yung 500 billion for leadership funds sa Senado. No? And quickly, ang mga senador mentioned sa a statement made by former Department of Public Works and Highway Secretary si Manuel Banuan, no? Mga senators po, they quickly denied. So let's see what will happen. Kung totoo ba ito or hindi. Let's be very, very careful po when it comes to itong corruption activities natin po. This is not a joke. Don't play. Because kawawa ang mga Filipinos. We want corruption will be, kung pwede lang po, no? Totally eradicated. Although it is impossible to have a government or a country that is free from corruption. Meron talaga yun po, corruption. No? But kung pwede lang, total eradication of corruption. Alright, before I will go, then maybe let me touch a little bit on, narinig ninyo yung po na sabi ng National Bureau of Investigation, sabi niya po, in the event, there is a need for them to enforce or perform their duties as enforcement government agency po, they will not hesitate. So, ibig sabihin, what I'm trying to say is that ready ang NBI, spearheaded by Tony Melvin Matibag, in the event mag-issue ng warrant of arrest kay Vice President Inday Sara Duterte tungkol sa DOJ complaint of grave threat po, no? Then, walang choice na po ang NBI to execute, to enforce ang warrant of arrest kay Inday Sara Duterte. But if you look at the situation na po, itong grave threat is one of the impeachment article, 4 impeachment article po, dyan kay Inday Sara Duterte, ongoing impeachment trial po, no? So, I don't know what happened. While ongoing pa impeachment trial, ang Department of Justice also filed a criminal complaint against Inday Sara Duterte. Is it lawful ba yan? Pwede ba yan? I thought that si Inday Sara Duterte is also immune from criminal cases. Sana naghintay na lang sila po, hindi ba? Pagkatapos man ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte, be it convicted or acquitted, kung acquitted siya and they are not happy, then they can go for the criminal case. Pero ngayon, what is happening po, halo-halo na po. So, is it constitutional? Sabi ang Supreme Court po, hindi yun pwede. Po. But that's it po. If they're going to continue to fast-track itong grave threat complaint or case against Inday Sara Duterte po. Let's see, maybe by tomorrow or the following week, we will have some updates regarding itong issue. But Alam na natin, nakita natin, I'm sorry, but this is my own observation po, no? And of course, many Filipinos dito din sa Sabah, we were talking here na nothing is impossible now sa gobyerno ng Marcos or BBM po. If they want to issue the warrant of arrest po, posible yan po, pwede yan po, no? Even it is against the law, no? Because this is really what is happening ngayon. Nakita na natin po. Those who are very vocal, criticizing the government po, no? Fast track ang mga kaso nila, invento kaso, as other people are claiming this is already invented cases. And nagawa nila. And these people are now inside or behind bars. So that is really what is happening. That's why when they ask me, some Filipinos dito, Sir Nick, do you think it is possible for the issuance of the warrant of arrest? So I said, my own opinion, and the way how I look at the situation ngayon sa Pilipinas po, anything can happen. The government can do something if they really want. Depende na yan po sa boss nila dyan. Sa boss nila pa. So I will not be surprised kung mayroon malabas ang warrant of arrest ni Inday Sara Duterte. But definitely, magalit yun din karamihan ng mga Filipinos, especially ang mga supporters ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Right? So kayo nang bahala. Kayo nang bahala. I will just leave it that way. And don't forget na bukas, August 17 na tayo, we are going to again see the continuation or resumption of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte po. At 10 a.m. yan po, bukas. 10 a.m. yung bukas hanggang 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday po. So it's a date. Ako din dito, I will make sure po that I'm going to hook up na naman tayo po sa television stations dyan po sa Pilipinas who are doing special coverage sa impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday po. And I think si Acosta will be the first witness, hostile witness ito, no? To be presented by the prosecutor's team bukas. I don't know how long will it take, no? And I'm very anxious to see ang cross-examination by the defense team. Kasi nakita ko po, I hate to compare, no? Pero magaling ang mga lawyers ng defense team. Magaling ang mga lawyers ng defense team po. Although sa prosecutor's team, tayo yung nagbayad sa kanila mga taxpayers, kasi sa gobyerno sila. No? Medyo kulang po. But we will see. The way how I look at it, still I can say it is still exciting. No? For me, I'm so excited to watch ang proceedings dahil po sa defense team. Not more on the prosecutor's team, mga lawyers po. I always want to see ngayon po ang how they defend ang kliyente nila si Vice President Inday Sara Duterte sa allegations. Kagaya sa grave threat po, parang nakita ko po, mahirap yan po ang grave threat, no? Parang wala yung kaso. And then this one na confidential funds, ang galing talaga po ang mga lawyers ng defense team. And anyway, hindi pa natapos, we will see, hanggang tomorrow po, we will see what will happen. So, again, I would like to invite all of you po. Be with me sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Bukas po, because I will hook up again, mag-live na naman tayo po sa resumption, Day 16, if I'm not mistaken. Day 16 of the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. So with this, once again, I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Sana enjoy kayo sa weekend natin ngayon and ready na tayo for a brand new week para sa atin po. And that will start tomorrow. Salamat. Don't play. Bye.